eBay responded to my request for a statement. Okay, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go see my previous video. This video is just a quick follow-up to that one that I wanted to put out for the sake of information, and I'm not going to be going through the usual rigmarole of scripting, editing, capture, and all the stuff that I would do for one of my more thorough videos. I'll put a link in the description, or if I can figure out how to do an on-screen card, I'll do that. If you don't care for all that, then I'll paraphrase. In my last video, I went into a rather detailed lecture on a video game called The Guy Game, and thoroughly laid out the fact that it is basically underage pornography. Then going into some overarching legal analysis and the penalties for owning or selling the game. At the very end of the video, I reached out to eBay for a statement because they had active listings. Yes, eBay was technically a site where you could allegedly get an underage pornographic video game, and that is allegedly still the case. I've been checking daily. Now, I'll relay basically the full statement along with my own personal analysis in a moment. Most of this video is just going to be me talking and relaying the information that I've received. So if you don't care to actually watch, you're free to go ahead and just listen. You'll still be able to receive all the information. So let's start with eBay's response. They thanked me for reaching out, and then attached a link that led to their terms of service and user agreements. Long story short, they don't allow the Guy game to be sold. Well, more specifically, they don't allow any variety of underage pornography to be sold. So why are there listings? Well, in response to their response, I did a little bit of analysis and testing. First, I tried scanning the barcode that I was able to pull up on a Google search for the back box art of the Guy game. Anyone familiar with selling on eBay knows that if your item has a barcode, you can do a quick format listing in order to sell your item. The Guy game didn't have any results pull up when I tried that method. Next up, I tried doing a search for other listings of the Guy game in the selling templates, which I assure you do in fact exist. However, when I tried to use these pre-established templates off of term searches, again, nothing for the Guy game came up. So it's likely people are just making their own listings from scratch. And as far as the end-user license agreement goes, eBay is for the most part covered. When someone agrees to sell something on eBay, they're basically accepting any and all liability for any consequences that could result from them listing it on their site, and they are attesting that it is not in violation of their terms. But here's an uncomfortable fact. People are still listing their copies of the Guy game. Go on eBay right now, and I guarantee you'll still find about 5 copies floating around. Every single one I've been reporting to see if they get dealt with as an experiment. You see, eBay being the gargantuan marketplace it is, they don't have the ability to examine every single listing that shows up on their website. According to Parade, in 2015, there were 2 billion, with a B, transactions that took place every single day. According to an Investor's Fast Fact website, there are 1.5 billion item listings at this very moment. I initially struggled to think about how eBay could have listings like the Guy game slipping through the cracks, but with numbers that large, it begins to come into perspective. I'm not saying I like the fact that this is happening, but it does give something of an explanation. However, as a counterpoint, Amazon also ships about 1.6 million packages every day, is one of the largest sellers in the United States, and at the time of searching, they do not allow Guy game listings of any variety. I've searched multiple times. But then again, Amazon is more of an intermediary for stores to conduct sales, rather than people selling their stuff directly, which eBay is much more oriented to doing. That being said, eBay also stressed the importance of community policing, and encouraging the reporting of copies of the Guy game as the porn depicting a minor that it is. At the time of writing, there are about 6 copies floating around on eBay. Every single one I have reported just to see how long it takes for eBay to take them down. At the start of this experiment, there were about a dozen, so it does appear to be having something of an effect. But that only makes me more passionate about my last video. People need to know. And if people see a copy in the wild, they should inform whoever is selling it that they are likely and unwittingly an underage smut peddler. Alright, I'm not going to get all preachy and high and mighty on anyone. But seriously, I have encountered at least 3 stores directly in my collecting travels that were selling copies of the Guy game. What's even more uncomfortable is that one of them continued to try and sell it in their store after I told them what it may have been. Albeit at the time, I was far less informed on the legal statuses back then. I won't name the store since they've changed locations or owners a few times by this point, and I'm no longer near them. But for the full grasp of the situation, which now leads me to believe the owners were massive scumbags at the time, I told them that the Guy game was likely underage pornography and had a brief discussion with one of the managers there. A week later, I came back to the store and found the game was no longer in the line of cases for average games they were trying to sell, but was now in the high roller collector's item case. They were trying to bring more attention in the endeavor to try and sell it. Now, I know there are a lot worse depictions out there of underage pornography than the Guy game, but I also feel that a stance of zero tolerance is the only adequate stance to have when it comes to any stuff like that. Anything I could say beyond that is going to get into matters of morals, politics, sociology, physiological development, criminology, exploitation of the less psychologically equipped, and quite frankly, I don't feel qualified enough to dive into something like that as a hobbyist gaming YouTuber. So anyway, that's what I had as a follow-up to the last video. I'm taking a small break as I gear up for my next few big video projects, which I do have planned, but I'm not going to say directly what they are since I seem to curse myself anytime I directly say what I'm going to work on. To that effect, I do have some more videos in the works, and I seem to have finally figured out what I want to do with my channel. I've been doing some curation on my much older videos and set about 20 of them to unlisted since they no longer serve the purpose of what I want to do anymore. Anyway, just a little bit of background. I'll be back soon with some more stuff. So until next time, thanks for watching and keep your head on your shoulders.